Angela. I'm so excited to see you yesterday and inspired by your chill vibe. And I'd like to hear how you do it. How do you achieve the chill vibe? It takes a lot of internal work. Come on, tell us.
The fact that you saw me yesterday and you're like, I like the chill vibe is incredible, because I wasn't feeling like I was giving that off yesterday. It's crazy. This time of year is insane. And I think that what is keeping me going is being really clear about what we've got to do. You know, my kids have just broken up. We've not yet got ready for Christmas. We've just finished work. We've got that whole, who have we got to see? Where have we got to be? What have we got to do? Am I coming? Am I going? Have I done this? Have I done that? And it feels like a lot. I don't know how it is with you, Olga, but over here it feels like a lot, like it's a rush, like there is a pressure on. And when I talk to people, the question they ask you is, are you ready for Christmas? And it's like, what does ready for Christmas look like? You know, today, me and my husband, we had a day together, and I felt like there was so much stuff to get done, so much stuff. And we went and had coffee first thing. It was delightful. And I said, right, we've got to write what we need to do. And we've got this. And actually, when I spoke it out loud, there wasn't an awful lot we had to do. There wasn't a great deal. There was maybe a few last minute gifts we needed to buy. We've got a little bit of wrapping to do. But we were able today to sit down and just enjoy some time together, which in my head, we had no time to do. And I think that's amazing. I think that pressure and that feeling of it's so busy and there's so much to get done can really knock people off kilter and create this Christmas overwhelm and nasty feeling, when once I knew what we needed to achieve, it was great. We just set about doing, you know? And it's made me feel a lot more like I've got that calm vibe that you said I had yesterday. Say, no way, not a chance. Today, I've kind of felt it, you know? So yeah, I think that being clear, that knowing what you've got on your plate and actually seeing it or speaking it out loud so that you can kind of go, oh, it's not that bad. Or actually, if it was that bad, sitting down and going, okay, well, what can I tackle? What do I have the time to do? Rather than go, all this stuff I haven't done. Like, let's just look at what we can do, and maybe the rest we can do tomorrow. Or maybe the rest somebody else can help us with. We don't have to do it on our own. We're not an island.
Maybe the rest doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Everybody's talking about brain dump, and I don't want to get too plasticky because we're being recorded. I'm like, oh, we're being recorded. It's too plasticky. No, I think it's just, you know, observing people like yourself, like you've given me. I had the good fortune of meeting you online, but it's like I've known you forever. Your energy is so infectious. It's just, But it's been like 6 months that I've known you remotely.
Yeah.
And just observing what you do and how you are and how you conduct yourself and how you go really deep with things that I don't have the courage to go, for instance, on the record. Not that I don't have those problems or frustrations or fears or tears, but I'm just not brave enough to, and you just go with it. Like, how do you do it? And why do you do it?
I want to do it because I think that the more people see how life is for women who want to work, but want to be a great mom, but maybe want to make something better for their lives, the more people can see those people doing it and taking a risk, and almost like a leap of faith, isn't it? You know, the more it might encourage somebody else, or it might stir something up in somebody who's maybe a bit stuck or a bit miserable or a bit, you know, is this all there is to life? I thought I'd feel something more. I know that from my perspective, Olga, when it was after the pandemic. So after that first awful lockdown, when all of a sudden I felt like there was so much life that wasn't necessarily being lived, so much time that I sat in front of the TV just watching other people live a life that I wasn't necessarily doing. And this was me, you know, I had both my kids by then. I was working full time in a job that was really demanding. I've got a lovely home. I live in a really nice place. But there was something that just made me go, there's a lot of life still to live. And I don't feel like I'm necessarily maximizing that. And I want to get something more from it. And that's when I started to run my own business, my skincare business. And through that, and then picking things up and looking at where I was supporting people, I just felt that the more people I spoke to, the more people were feeling that way and didn't even know where to start to look, like didn't even know if it was a thing. To be able to go, is this it? Like, am I ungrateful? Because I don't think I am ungrateful. I think it's just an awakening to think, no, that you can feel so much more alive. You can feel like you're making more use of your time. You can make more use of what we have got. And it doesn't mean you have to give anything up. You know, a lot of people, I feel, a lot of people think, oh God, it's selfish to want it all. But what does want it all mean? Because I've got no doubt it means something really different to you than what it does to me. And actually, if you think about what does that mean to you, it might just mean, do you know, I'd really like to learn a different language. That would really make me happy. That would be my everything. I work, I raise my kids, I learn French on the side. Or it might be, I've got to quit my job. I hate it so much. What can I do? I really want to go into flower arranging. How do I do that? But you look into it and you discover something and you give yourself time because you're allowed, because it's your time. We've all got, I mean, I hate it, it's really cliche, but we all have got 24 hours in a day. We know this, but we spend it in different ways. And I often think if we spent our time like we spend precious resources like water and things like that, we would be a lot more cautious, mindful, careful about where we waste it, whether that's on scrolling on your phone or like me, sat in front of the telly, just numbing it and just watching other people's lives. So yeah, that's why I do it. That's why I go out and kind of do what I do. And I do share the rubbish, the hard times, but I also like to share the successful stuff. You know, there's times where you have like the best day with your kids just because, you know, mine today asked for ice cream for tea and we said, yeah, that's cool. Let's go out and have ice cream for dinner. So that's what we've done. And it's great. Yeah. But then it's like the things that you share, the inspiration that you put out there, those little nuggets that just, even if they only inspire one person every now and again, that's come from you, from your heart. And I hope that that's what people get from what I do as well.
So nice. It's so nice. And again, your energy is infectious. And from what I gained from from seeing you do those special vulnerable things. I love seeing you do fun things, but you know, vulnerable things. And you're like, today is a tough day and it's Monday and it freaking sucks. And you know, like what you said, it makes you feel that you're not alone. Especially for, again, I'm not yet, maybe I'll get there. I am totally fine sharing with people one-on-one or in groups when it's not recorded completely. But when it's on the record and when it's kind of visible, I won't share as much. And it takes a lot of courage to do that. But then there are people on the other side who don't have that, who get inspired by what you do. And I think it's really, you said, you know, I think you're asking yourself the hard questions, because oftentimes you're just like what you said, you know, watching other people's lives and you're like, you're kind of like frustrated. And a lot of people I feel are frustrated and when something is lacking in my life, but it's too hard to ask the questions. And sometimes I think seeing people like yourself and just glimpses here and there allow us to maybe ask ourselves difficult questions as well, and at least start digging. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Now, how do you get clarity? Let's do like 5 more minutes. Or so you said it really helps when you get clarity. And how do you get clarity? Do you make lists? Do you have this huge board in your kitchen wall? Do you have like this Google Calendar with all color coded? What do you do?
For me, I'm old fashioned. So I know you're Mrs. AI and you'd be like, you could do that using a chatbot. But for me, I like a good list. I like a board. You know, I've got boards left, right, and center, these kind of things that I scribble things on. I like a color coordination, but I do it manually because that helps me. For me, pen to paper really gets stuff out of my head. And it might be, you know, crazy stuff. I'm not a fan of somebody having a list and adding to it just so you can tick it off. But I am a huge fan of going, oh my God, what do I think I've got to do? Like, I've really got to remember this, and this. And it might be that all those things are exactly the same, but I've got them in my head as different things, you know? And I think once you get it out, and I'll often do like a mind map or something with a different topic. So there'll be like work, as in my paid job. There'll be business stuff. There'll be kids, and there'll be home. And some of that all crosses over as well, because it can be a lot of similar
sounds
stuff.
So amazing to me. We have to do a separate session on your mind mapping. Seriously, let's do it. This is great.
I mean, yeah. But it just helps. It helps me, and it's finding what works for you. Some people might be, you know, an actual list, you know, and then cross and cross and cross. Other people might be on their phone. For me, on the phone, on the tech, it's not the same. I still feel like that's whirring around in my head. It's not helping calm my head. Other people might like doodle and journal a little bit about what they've got to do. But yeah, I just like to go, there it all is. And then 9 times out of 10, it's not as scary as I think it is. The majority of it is just going around in my head because I'm worried I'm going to forget it. And once you've written it down, for me, that's like, I can park that now. I can come back to it. Just helps, you know?
The nails. Show us your nails. They're so pretty. Okay. Tell us what it is that you do. So the nails are done for Christmas. Mine are not yet.
Yours were looking sparkly.
Well, they're sparkly, but they're a little old sparkly. So I'll get to it in the next couple of days. But why the nails?
I have had my nails done, like not like this, but you know, I've had them done probably I'm gonna say since my mum passed away, which is a good 7 years ago now, because my mum always had her nails done. And I was always like, what a waste of money, as if you do that, you can just paint them at home, la-di-la-di-la. And then I was like, I'm gonna get my nails done because that's nice. And I think I did it, and I felt like, oh, I get it now. Like, she's not here, but I get it. And for me, that's a little bit like, I don't go out of the home without my lipstick on or my nails done. And I know that might sound a little bit like me, but that's who I am. You know, I like to have my fancy nails. It makes me feel good. And if you feel good about yourself, that's going to give you more of that kind of positive energy, isn't it?
Exactly. That's where I was going. This is beautiful. And I love the sparkles. And I love that you take that little pride and time for yourself and you do it. I love it. And yes, for me, lipstick is not as bored makeup is. So like, I never leave my house and people are like, you're so preppy. I'm like, no, it's just who I am. I just don't feel like myself. I'm not, you know.
Yeah, mine's eyebrows, lipstick, nails, done.
Yay.
Can wait. What about you? What do you do for your time?
What do I do for my time? I mean, right now it's crazy busy, but I think I mentioned to you yesterday, someone lovely did a live last week that I watched a little bit of, and it is, you know, this mantra for the week for me. It's really just resonated with me, and that's in order to go faster, you need to slow down, and I just love it. So I need to slow down. I've been running too fast for my liking and my pace and my comfort zone. So I haven't been doing much for myself lately. So I watched The Crown last night and the night before. I absolutely love it. So I think we have maybe one more episode left until it's over. But that is a very rare occasion. So the holidays, we try to, not try to, we just have a family tradition where we watch old movies with the kids. So podcasts work the best for me because it's hard to, I have a hard time focusing on one thing. Several things have to be going on at once for me. It's just the way I'm wired. So when I podcast, I usually either, chop something or vacuum, or as you would know. And I just really enjoy it because if I don't do it, then I get cranky. I feel that I haven't given myself enough love. And for me, that's love. That's learning, that's listening, that's getting something, taking pieces. And then also, if I really like it, then I recommend it to someone and I feel that maybe I went to like a little extra step.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love reading. I haven't given myself the permission to do the outside stuff like the nails or, so I'm going to try to do something for myself before the end of the year. That may seem artificial for some, but I think you would connect. Like, I think a spa appointment is in order with all the work that we put in this year and into other people. I think it's in order.
I think so.
So I'm going to do it. And I keep, my husband he's amazing in this regard. He always takes care of me. He is better for me or to me than I am to myself. He's like, why don't I book you a massage? I'm like, no. And there are all these reasons, like, it's time or it's money or it's obligations or it's this, and it's so.
But he can see it. He can see it and he wants to care.
Yeah.
He's so lovely.
He's a good guy. So a few things that I may do for myself.
I think what it's called, like the stats around it, the performance, the dashboard. And I'm like, it's not being seen. It's not getting out there and it's not being seen by the right people. And it's that age-old thing, isn't it? I mean, you're amazing at sharing things and sharing people's posts and getting it out there. And I think we met online, we've never met in real life. You just connect with me and you're helping and you're supporting and you're lifting me up. And there are people in my world who see my stuff and don't do like, if only everybody would share one of the posts that I do every week, that's going to widen
absolutely
the visibility of what I'm sharing. And it's trying to figure out the best way to do that, the best way to be seen and keep going at it. And everybody says, don't they, about this consistency. And that's so hard, I think, when you're raising a family, doing a job, trying to keep home, trying not to go mental. Like all of that is really tricky.
And when you go to your stats, which I do very rarely.
I do it very rarely because
I don't do it often because I know that it has to reach a certain point where it will be visible. So I do once every couple of weeks, maybe even 3 weeks. But what I noticed is the more you go out there and the more you do these things and you learn tricks. Like I'm like, at first I never tagged anyone because I'm like, I don't want to bother people. I just like and then I flipped it and looked at it from a different perspective. I'm like, you're not really bothering people. They're probably not getting tagged 237 times a day. And if they are, then they really pick through what they look at. At the same time, if you have value to offer through your post and you don't tag them, the algorithm works in a way that they will never see it.
Yeah.
Maybe that one person out of 33 people that you tagged who really needed it that day. Like they really needed to lift me up or they were dealing with that passive aggressive person that day. And they were just like, really again? And they're just feeling lost. And here's my guide on how to deal with passive aggressive people, because I dealt with that person too today.
Yeah.
Like, and so I think and if people get annoyed, I don't tag too many people, but I do tag now because I think it really enhances the visibility. They just turn you off. Then you're not their cup of tea and you just move on. But I saw my engagement just by doing that. My engagement went up 222%.
Wow.
222%. Yeah, in 30 days. So percentage-wise is great. Number-wise is like, but it all starts somewhere.
Yeah, that's it. It starts somewhere.
What you said, it's so hard to stay consistent when you feel that you're like, what's the point if nobody's seeing it? But it's just keeping at it, the hardest thing again, and also supporting other people, because you know that everybody is in the same game. Everybody's trying to do the same thing or a similar thing. And it really surprises me, really does. And I just take the lessons and move on. But some people who seem to be doing similar things, and for instance, I reached out to a couple of people. I've been very active in the past couple of weeks, 3-4 weeks. And I reached out to a couple of people who seem to be doing, reaching out and helping moms or helping them, and said, do you want to partner up? Do you want to? And people are just like, nope, I'm doing my thing. It's my thing. It's my thing.
Oh,
it's my thing. And I find it like, it's disappointing, because we can double the effect of our or effect and impact, right, of our work.
I think so.
We can make it so much stronger and so much better and so much funner together.
Yeah.
I'm for togetherness. If you see someone to cross promote people, just post stuff because it's cool.
I think that there's enough people in the world. I view it as you succeed, I succeed. It's that kind of thing. And it's like, there are so many mum coaches out there, so many people wanting to help mums. I think because so many of us are mums and have kind of felt like, oh my gosh. But everything about everyone that I've come across is different. There's something different. And there's something that I go, oh, this is so brilliant. What you've shared is so amazing. And I'm like, I say that, but I say it in such a different way to you. Like, this is great. Well done, you. And that's it. Like, I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But there might be people who want your drink more than my drink in my world, and it's give people access so that they've got a choice and they can find the person that's going to be the person that helps them or supports them or that they resonate with, to go, yeah, I get you. And I hear you. And that's where I'm at. And thank you for sharing that. Whereas, it might come out of my mouth and they might be like, oh yeah, it's just Angela again, harping on. So the more we can team up, the more we can share and do stuff together, the more fun it is, the less lonely it is for us, and the greater it is for the people that, are out there. So yeah. It's funny because there are some people, you're absolutely right. And I'm like, let's do something. Oh yeah, let's get a date in. 4 months later, I'm like, are we doing anything? No, okay, maybe. Oh yeah. Me and you, we're like, boom.
But it's also, I've always been this way. I feel you've always been this way. But I think at a certain point too, you have to. Michelle, our beautiful mindset coach. I'm so grateful to Michelle. So she says, and see, I'm so grateful. I like totally lost my train of thought now. Oh my God. See, Michelle, see what you do to us. Amazing things are like, woo, clean slate. Moving on. Helping people, getting on together. Yeah, some people, schedule stuff, which I love. I can't not schedule stuff, but I feel with some people it's like months in advance, which I don't do. It's just not my style. Maybe I should. I don't know. But now I'm scheduling stuff for January when we're having a beautiful podcast. I'm sure a few lives too, because we're helping people. But I think it's saying yes. That's where I was going. Saying yes to more things that feel right. If they feel right in the moment, they're most likely right.
Yeah.
And then you come up with all these reasons why you shouldn't do it. It's time, again, it's money, it's this and that. And you end up, I think a lot of people end up not doing them. And then not even consciously regretting stuff. Some stuff you regret consciously, and some stuff you just like, I wish I'd done it. And the train has left the station. I think, again, if I were to suggest anything at all, follow our example.
Yeah, man.
Janelle, get your follow our example. Jump on the train. Even if it's convenient, even if you had other plans, if this train looks better than the other one, jump on this one.
Get on this one with us, baby.
It's been amazing.
Amazing.
I don't think I discussed this with you, but I am launching my podcast, Ordinary Talks with Extraordinary Women, in January.
Mm-hmm.
I've been sitting on it for 3 years, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. All these wonderful women, 5 of them, who gave me interviews 3 years ago, they were asking for a year, like, Olga. And then they're like, So it's been 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming out. And I would like to invite you on the record now to be the first.
I would love that. Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Do it.
Okay. Because Angela Boyd is an extraordinary woman, and no conversation with her is ordinary.
Oh,
Whether it's deep and insightful and lovely and engaging and educational and inspiring and all these beautiful things. So we're doing it. We're doing it. From January, we're doing it. This was fun.
This was fun. I look forward to January doing the podcast. Yay. I look forward to it all and seeing where we go in 24. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.